Okay, 8:23 now. There is a show giving us a behind-the-scenes look at the biggest clashes in WWE history.
Yeah, and we are joined by actor and former WWE creative writer Freddie Prinze Jr. telling us what to expect in the second season of WWE Rivals. Good morning. Thanks for being with us.
Good morning to you both. How are you?
Doing fantastic. So I've always been fascinated by wrestlers because they are part professional athlete and part actor. You being an actor, I'm curious, when you look at them, what you see is the bigger part, I should say, of their jobs.
You know, I compare professional wrestlers to stand-up comedians. Both of them are getting an instant reaction. Both of them work with the crowd. And if the crowd doesn't like you, they let you know right away.
Very true.
I find them the two hardest forms. Of entertainment there are. Yeah. I've always liked to describe wrestling as the literal representation of blood, sweat, and tears on an actual canvas. Because that's what they're wrestling on.
Yeah, that's true.
I've always looked at it that way. If you look at the ring at the end of a wrestling show, it's a Jackson Pollock painting every single week, just with different colors, a lot more red than Jackson liked to use. But yeah, I've always loved it for that. I respect, I love every, fight scene Jackie Chan's ever been in, but he gets 10 takes.
Yeah,
he can mess up. Yeah, he can break his foot. They can shut down production and shoot a month later. This is live. They have to do this live and make this work live. And that puts a lot of tension in it, too, which is another reason why I love it.
Right. Now, between your podcast and some of the roundtable discussions that you have with some of the athletes, you got to peel back a layer so that we can see and hear what these wrestlers are thinking about or going through as they're creating this work, this art. What are some of the things that you're picking or taking away?
So I think the most beautiful / terrible story that we tell is the Trish Stratus and Lita episode, which comes out like mid-March. Yeah. These women were the pinnacle of women's wrestling. They made women's wrestling mainstream. Trish Stratus represented like the perfectly constructed woman, the way the two boys in Weird Science created Kelly LeBrock. She represented that. Right? Okay. That's what she looked like. It wasn't real. And then Lita, who was equally as beautiful, but more like the alt rock, like, let's go get some beers and race muscle cars all night long, like that kind of a chick, right?
Okay.
And so that's the poster to bring guys to this match, right? The same way Magic Mike had all the sweet six packs and muscles, and all the ladies are like, that's my movie. That's what brought you to the movie. And then it's their responsibility to tell a cool enough story that you don't leave. So it was the women's responsibility to wrestle as good as the men.
Right.
Otherwise, the fans aren't going to buy into it because they didn't want women's wrestling back then at all.
Wow.
And both women were perfect. Lita was trained lucha libre style. Her character is climbing the mountain. She has to get to the perfect woman in order to defeat her. The woman's been champion forever, Trish Stratus. How could Lita do it? Well, they finally write the story where she's going to win the title. And it's in Puerto Rico. And it's raining outside. It's a live event. They're wrestling outside. It looks like the third act of a movie. And they're going, and it's finally Lita's night. And in the middle of the match, she destroys her knee. Not in a scripted way. I mean, every ligament and tendon, everything gone. They still have a match to wrestle. Yeah. She doesn't quit. She guts it out. And they're whispering in each other's ear during moves. Okay, I can't win tonight. You have to win. And Trisha's like, no, it's your time. And she's like, no, I can't wrestle. I'm done for a year at least. We got to just go. And they're wrestling while they're having this conversation. And then they do the match and Lita loses. And it's like a Shakespearean tragedy, even though we don't know it watching it. We don't know until years later when we talk about the episode. So to me, this sounds horrible saying this, but it's our most beautiful episode, even though it's sort of rooted in tragedy. But both women, their contribution has never been matched. And there's women out there that have contributed tons to women's wrestling, but they haven't been in the game long enough to match what these two women did first.
Well, these are the stories you're going to get. WWE Rivals on Sundays. 10 o'clock comes on right after Biography WWE Legends on A&E. Freddie, thank you so much for your time this morning. These stories are incredible.
Thank you.
Appreciate y'all. Thank you.
All right.